Namaste children, welcome back to another session of our chapter Respiration. So far in our earlier classes we studied respiration as one of the oxidative process where the complex organic substances are break down into simpler substances to release energy. Yes, so and this respiration we even came to know as a two-step process. The first step it is called as your breathing process, then followed by cellular respiration. So again breathing it is a again two-step process where the intake of gases it will take place that we are saying as an inhalation, and exhalation of gases like carbon dioxide also takes place, that's called your exhalation. Yes, so now in our earlier classes even we studied the various organs which are playing a vital role in inhalation and exhalation of the gases. Yes, the most important thing we even came to know the differences between breathing and respiration and the role of diaphragm while breathing and respiration. This is the set of organs which are playing a vital role in the transport of gases or in the release of gases. And at the end of this module, last class, we came to know the most important process, that is diffusion, through which the gaseous exchange is taking place into the bloodstream from the alveoli, where the word diffusion means transfer of ions from a higher concentration level to lower concentration level. Now let us start the exact process, that is the oxidative process of glucose. So respiration from the alveoli. Now the oxygen when it is entering into the cell, exactly what happens? So when the oxygen it is entering into the cell, now the cellular respiration starts. That is your oxidation of complex organic substances to produce energy. Such a cellular respiration, if you will see, it is divided into two main types. The first one we are saying as an aerobic respiration, and then it is followed by anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means it is a type of respiration where oxygen is involved. Means in the presence of oxygen, complex molecules are broke down. Anaerobic respiration means it is a respiration where no oxygen, means oxygen is not required. Sometimes when you are doing a vigorous exercise, or sometimes due to lack of oxygen, even our muscle cells also undergo this type of anaerobic respirations. So today we are going to learn what exactly anaerobic respiration is, what exactly an anaerobic respiration is. Yes, so the first thing, if you will see, the cellular respiration which starts with the glucose molecule which is entering into the cell. So now this glucose molecule, the formula for this glucose molecule is C6H12O6. Such a glucose molecule, when it is entering into the cell, it first followed by a step that is called glycolysis. Glycolysis, glycose means sugar, lysis means breakdown. Here a sugar called glucose, it is getting breakdown for the production of energy. Yes, so now this glycolysis process, it occurs in the cytoplasm of a cell. Cytoplasm means it's the liquid part of the cell. Every cell is containing the liquid part, it's called your cytoplasm. So glycolysis, it is the first and the common step for both aerobic and anaerobic respirations, which always takes place in the cytoplasm of a cell. So what I said, glycolysis means breakdown of glucose molecule. This is the first step, and even it is the common step that is seen in both aerobic and anaerobic respirations. So your particular respiration process, it always requires an amount of heat to occur. That's what, if you will see our body, it is maintaining a constant body temperature. So with the help of that constant body temperature or the temperature, your respiration process, it will occur. So we even say this respiration is a endothermic reaction. Endothermic means, endo means inside. So when any reaction, chemical reaction, or when any metabolism it is occurring, that time the, if the heat is involved there, means with the help of the heat, if any reaction it is taking place, then we are saying it as a endothermic reaction. And your respiration is also termed as a endothermic reaction. Okay, so here at first the glucose molecule, it is break down into simple particles, that is called the glycolysis process. So at the end of glycolysis process, we will get a product that is called pyruvic acid. What is the product we are getting? It's called your pyruvic acid. So now this pyruvic acid, it will further break down. But the breakdown of pyruvic acid occurs in two different ways. One way where oxygen is completely evolved, so we are saying as a oxidative reaction. Sometimes oxygen is not at all involved. There we are saying as an anaerobic respiration, or we are saying it as a fermentation. So let us see what happens in the uh, particular aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration means it is a process where the pyruvic acid, it is formed by the pyruvic acid, it is formed by the breakdown of glucose by a process called glycolysis. Remember, this glycolysis process, it occurs in the cytoplasm of a cell. Okay, so now this pyruvic acid, when it is further degrading in the presence of in the presence of oxygen, that leads to the production of ATPs. So here, in the presence of oxygen, when we are saying, it's called your aerobic respiration. So the aerobic respiration of pyruvic acid always and always occurs in the mitochondria of a cell. That's what we will say, mitochondria as the powerhouse of the cell, where the production of energy is taking place in a form of ATPs. Okay, so your oxygen or aerobic respiration, it is followed by, means your glycolysis process, it is followed by another process that we are saying as a Krebs cycle, where a cyclic manner of changes or cyclic manner of breakdown of pyruvic acid will occur for the production of energy, and this process is taking place in the mitochondria of a cell. Yes, so now the second one, if you will see, now this pyruvic acid, sometimes when you are doing a very vigorous exercise, that time the oxygen which you are intaking, it is not at all sufficient. Yes, under such conditions, now the pyruvic acid will undergo a special type of respiration without the presence of oxygen, that we are calling as a anaerobic respiration. An means absence. So what is absent here? Your oxygen, it is absent here. So you are saying it as a anaerobic respiration. So now this anaerobic respiration, again it is occurring in two different ways. If you are taking the example of animal muscles, because muscles are the body cells which are having a movement capacity, which gives a movement in our body. So when you are doing a vigorous exercise, means you are moving your body continuously. So under such conditions, the muscle cells of our body, without the presence of oxygen, they will undergo a type of respiration that we are saying as an anaerobic respiration. So now in this anaerobic respiration, as oxygen is not there, immediately within the, yes, they will undergo a means in anaerobic respiration where there is no oxygen or less or minimum amount of oxygen, the muscle cells of the animals, they will undergo respiration where the end products of this respiration is lactic acid. So when this lactic acid it will get accumulated in the body, it leads to muscle cramps. Okay, but there is another animal which is undergoing anaerobic respiration, that is the yeast cells. So there the method of anaerobic respiration we are calling it as a fermentation. So at the end of this fermentation process, yeast is releasing ethyl alcohol. Yes, that's what in the bakeries or beverage products, if you will see, they're very soft in their nature because along with the alcohol, whatever the gases that are released over there, that will remain in the dough and it will soften the dough. Because of that, it will puff off. Yes, so anaerobic respiration, it is a method of respiration where there is no involvement of oxygen takes place. But even though there is no involvement of oxygen, it too able to produce energy. Okay, so your anaerobic respiration, if it is occurring in the muscle cells of the animals, then it is producing an end product that is called lactic acid. If it is occurring in the yeast, then it is called your ethyl alcohol. So generally this method of anaerobic respiration, that is by the involvement of yeast, we will see in a larger scale level in the alcoholic industries where the barley seeds are taken as the foodstuff over there, and these barley seeds are added with the yeast. Now yeast is taking barley as the food and undergoing anaerobic respiration, due to which it will get fermented and releases ethyl alcohol. Such an ethyl alcohol, it is purified and supplied to the markets. Okay, this method of production of ethyl alcohol by the yeast we are saying as a fermentation process. Remember children, always and always cellular respiration is of two types. One is an aerobic respiration and the second one is your anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration always occurs in the presence of oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration without the involvement of oxygen it occurs. So before this aerobic and anaerobic respirations, the first step of respiration, cellular respiration, it is called your glycolysis, where the breakdown of glucose into pyruvic acid takes place. This particular process, it occurs in the cytoplasm of the So this first step, glycolysis, it occurs in the cytoplasm of a cell. Then it is followed by aerobic respiration, which occurs in the mitochondria of a cell and produces energy in a form of ATP. So when it comes to anaerobic respiration, it is producing the end products lactic acid in the animal muscle cells, whereas in yeast it is producing the end products, that is ethyl alcohol. Okay children, let us even learn what is a respiratory or a breathing rate. So respiratory rate means it is a person's number of breaths that are taken by per minute. You are saying either it is a respiratory rate or you are saying it as a breathing rate. So breathing rate or respiratory rate, it is saying that the number of breaths taken by a person per minute is called your respiratory rate. So in an adult person, if you will see, the respiratory rate is always in between 12 to 20 times per minute. When you are doing an exercise, means this is during the rest time. But when you are doing an exercise, now this respiratory rate, it will increase. That's what. This is the rest time. Here you can see 12 to 20 times per minute. But when you are doing this type of exercise, it will increase a lot. So under this such an vigorous exercises, our body, it won't get sufficient amount of oxygen, then it is undergoing anaerobic respiration. So that's what a very well trained in athlete, if you will see throughout the year, he will get trained for that games. So well trained athlete towards the year, throughout these years, he will try to hold his respiration, because if it is an aerobic respiration, it takes a lot of time for the production of energy. But if it is an anaerobic respiration, immediately it gives energy. So that's what from the when the trigger ons, from that time till the race completes, this particular athletes, he will try to hold his breath so that he can use the anaerobic respiration energy even for the running, and at the end of the race he will fall on the track and start taking deep breaths, so that he can replace the deficient oxygen that already happened in his body. Okay, children. So understand what is an aerobic and anaerobic respirations, and what exactly a respiratory rate is. Okay, chalo, take out your textbooks and start reading the lesson that is respiration. Okay, thank you so much.